So I'm driving right now and my mind's just going. Not really thinking about anything specific, but also thinking about everything at once. You know how that happens when you're alone in the car and nobody needs anything from you? No texts, no calls, nobody asking for a favor, just you and the road. And I caught myself wondering, why does this feel so good? Why here of all places? Not at home, not at work, not at some bar with the guys, but here, behind the wheel, ideally on an empty highway where you can actually open it up a little. I couldn't really explain it for a long time. Told myself, oh, I just like driving. Speed, adrenaline, whatever. The easy answers. But that's not it. That's not the real story. I'm 32, and honestly, I'm worn out. Not tired like I need sleep. Worn out from feeling like I have zero control over my own life. And that feeling, it sneaks up on you. You don't notice it happening. At 25, you think, man, everything's ahead of me. I'll figure it out. Things are gonna go the way I want them to go. Then you're 30. Then you're pushing 35. And you look at where you are and think, wait, what happened to everything I had planned? Where did that feeling go? The one where you actually felt like you were running your own life. At work, somebody's always telling you what to do. Doesn't matter how smart you are, how experienced, you could know more than your boss on any given day. There's still someone above you calling the shots. And you either fall in line, or you go find another job where there's a different person who's going to call the shots. Home. Home is its own whole thing. Home is compromise after compromise after compromise. And I'm not saying that's wrong. That's just what life is. That's family. That's how it works. But it's not a place where you walk through the door and say, all right, I've made a decision. Here's how we're doing this. That's not how it goes. You talk, you explain yourself, you give ground. Sometimes you're always giving ground. And money. Money is just its own kind of pain. You don't control inflation. You don't control what the market's going to do tomorrow. You don't control whether your client ghosts you or the contract falls through. You do everything right, and the outcome still depends on 100 things you never had a say in. But then you get in the car, and it's just press the gas, you move. Turn the wheel, you turn. Want to pass somebody? You pass them. Want to stop? You stop. That's it. Every single thing you do gets an immediate response. Not in a month, not let's revisit that next quarter, not we'll see how it plays out. Right now, this second. That's why guys drive fast. I mean it. Not because they're idiots. Okay, some of them are idiots, but most of them just want to feel somewhere, anywhere, like they're actually making decisions. Like they're not just getting carried along by the current, but genuinely steering something. Even if it's just this thing that weighs 3,000 pounds, at least here. I remember, maybe 4 years ago I went through this stretch, rough stretch. A business I'd been building for 3 years just never got off the ground. Not because I wasn't putting in the work, I was grinding constantly. It just didn't come together. Timing, market, partners, something went sideways and that was that. 3 years of my life and a serious amount of money. Gone. And meanwhile, things are tense at home because there's no money coming in. My wife's stressed out even though she's trying not to show it. My dad's in the hospital. And you're just walking around with this smile telling everybody, yeah, it's fine. We'll figure it out. Everything's gonna be all right. And at night, you get in the car and you drive. You just drive. Nowhere specific. Around the loop, out of the city, down streets that are completely empty at that hour. Sometimes 2, 3 hours of just driving. Wife texts, "Where are you?" Me, driving. Her, When are you coming home? Me. Soon. And she probably thought I was losing my mind or something else was going on. But I was just driving. Because that was the only place where I felt, I don't even know how to put it, like it didn't hurt. Not happy exactly, just not hurting. Just neutral. Just moving forward, and that's enough. And that's where speed comes in. When you're going fast, you can't think about your problems. Literally can't. Your brain is locked onto the road. Signs, other cars, curves, lane lines. You're completely here, completely present. It's like meditation for people who could never sit still long enough to meditate. All the noise about money and work and whatever somebody said last week, it's just gone. There's only the road and you. I read about this later, and apparently that's actually how the brain works. High speed, high concentration required, your brain just cuts everything else off. That's how we're wired going back forever. Danger equals focus. Everything else can wait. Here's something else I noticed. The way I drive is basically a readout of where I'm at mentally. Dead serious. When things are good, when I feel solid, when life's moving the way it should, I'm calm behind the wheel. Got music on, no rush. I'll let somebody merge. Nothing bothers me. But when something's off, I feel that aggression kick in almost immediately. Everybody's in my way. I want to push past people. I'm getting annoyed at anyone going slow. Cutting people off sometimes. Feel like an ass about it afterward, but in the moment, that's just where I am. And it's not about how they're driving. It's about what's going on inside me. A few times I actually pulled over when I caught myself doing it. Just got on the shoulder, killed the engine, sat there, and asked myself, okay, what's actually going on? What is it that's eating at me right now? And every single time I found something, it works better than any conversation I've ever had. Because you're alone, and there's nobody to perform for. You can't bullshit yourself behind the wheel. I don't know why that is, but you can't. We just don't teach men how to say when something's wrong. We teach them to fix things. We teach them that complaining means you're weak, that you hold it together, that a real man doesn't fall apart, so we hold it together. We fix things. We don't fall apart. And then we get in the car and we floor it down an empty highway at 1 a.m. And that right there, that's us saying it. That's us saying, I'm not okay. That's what it looks like. Not words, not breaking down, just pedal to the floor and nothing but road ahead of you. Is that sad? Yeah, probably, but it's real. I'm not saying any of this is right. I'm not telling anyone to go out there and drive like a maniac. That's just stupid. It's dangerous. People actually die. I'm talking about what's underneath it. Underneath the road rage, underneath the speed, underneath all these guys flying down the highway to nowhere. There's something real there. Exhaustion. Helplessness. Just wanting to feel somewhere like you matter. Like you're actually here. Like the choices you make mean something. It's not an excuse. It's just what it is. Right now I'm driving. Road's empty. Nothing ahead of me. Sun's going down. And I feel good. Actually, genuinely good. Not because anything got solved. It didn't. Not because things are suddenly clear. They're not. Just right now, in this moment, I know where I'm going. I can see the road. I've got the wheel. And that's enough. Sometimes, that's all you need. Just knowing where you're headed to take a breath and keep going.